Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning was a film made knowing that it is under a lot of pressure to deliver. So the question is, does it live up to the hype of being possibly the last ever Mission Impossible film? And here's the thing, right? I've given this film 4 out of 5 stars, 8 out of 10, the same thing. But I can't help but feel slightly disappointed by it, which, it feels paradoxical saying that, giving it such a high score, but saying I feel disappointed. But when a franchise has films like the first film, Dead Reckoning, Fallout, it's difficult to not feel underwhelmed when the finale is simply really good instead of being some of the best films I've ever seen, like some of the other films in the franchise are. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, it can lose itself, in its own source at times, but when the film locks in, man, it really has some of the best action scenes, some of the best scenes, some of the best set pieces this franchise has ever produced. Seriously, some of the most tense moments in all 8 of these films come in The Final Reckoning. I do think my one big gripe with this film, and Dead Reckoning as well, is that I don't think Gabriel is a good enough villain for the finale of a franchise like this, especially going up against people like Solomon Lane in Fallout, and I think it was Rogue Nation he was in, Philip Seymour Hoffman. I just think, I don't know, I think in he's the entity's henchman, and he doesn't feel threatening at all to me. And also, this is more of a personal thing, there's something about the performance of Gabriel's actor which I don't know, it kind of irks me, and I just don't really enjoy Gabriel as a villain. I think he lessens the impact of how cool the entity could actually be. And I think, especially with Final Reckoning, I think the entity they should have personified the entity a bit more. Maybe, not all the way to this end of the spectrum, but something like, Ultron. However, overall, the Final Reckoning is truly a great addition to the Mission Impossible franchise. I just think because of the films it is preceded by, these films, Fallout, Dead Reckoning, the first one, those are my top 3. I just can't help but feel like this film wasn't the finale that a franchise like this deserved to get, despite the fact that it is a good film. Truthfully, I think for the final Mission Impossible film, we should have just had Tom Cruise go to space. I feel like I read a few years ago he wants to make a film where he is in space. Why? There is not a franchise more deserving of a Tom Cruise going to space film than the Mission Impossible franchise. But anyway, let me know what you thought about The Final Reckoning.